Did you know Christmas pudding was once banned by the church for being too sinful? In the 1600s, anyone caught making it could be punished, yet families risked it anyway. Because for them, pudding wasn't dessert, it was rebellion. Today, it is a symbol of Christmas warmth, a flaming sphere of fruit and brandy that crowns holiday tables across the world. But behind that comforting glow lies a story few know. One of faith, famine, empire, and survival. This is the incredible journey of Christmas pudding, the dessert that refused to die. Long before it was sweet, Christmas pudding began as a dish of desperation. In the harsh winters of medieval England, survival meant creativity. Villagers combined barley, meat, wine, and dried fruits into a thick stew called frumenti. It was salty, smoky, and nourishing, not a luxury, but a lifeline. Yet even in that bleakness, there was hope. As trade routes opened, spices from distant lands began to reach English ports. Cinnamon from Ceylon, nutmeg from the Moluccas, cloves from Zanzibar. Bit by bit, the humble stew transformed. Frumenti thickened into a boiled pudding, filled with dried fruits and sweetened wine. It became the centerpiece of the year's end, a dish that celebrated not abundance, but endurance. By the 15th century, it had earned a new name, plum pudding. The food of survival had become the food of celebration. But celebration can be dangerous when the world turns dark. As England entered the 17th century, plague, famine, and civil war tore through the land. And amid the chaos, the Puritans rose to power, determined to purify faith and cleanse it of indulgence. To them, Christmas was a sinful distraction, and plum pudding, rich with brandy and spice, was the devil's temptation. In 1647, Parliament outlawed Christmas celebrations entirely. No feasts, no games, and certainly no pudding. Yet, behind closed doors, the tradition refused to die. In hidden kitchens, women stirred forbidden pudding by candlelight, whispering the old recipes to their children. Each spoonful became an act of quiet defiance, a reminder that joy cannot be legislated away. And when the fires of rebellion burned out, something remarkable happened. The pudding rose again, this time with royal blessing. When the monarchy was restored, so too was the spirit of festivity. In 1714, King George III, a foreign-born ruler seeking to connect with his new subjects, tasted the long-forbidden pudding. He loved it so much that he demanded it be served at his royal Christmas feast. The people rejoiced. They called him the Pudding King. Under George I, pudding returned to the national table, this time not as rebellion, but as unity. From then on, every Christmas feast had to end with a steaming, brandy-soaked pudding. It became the flavor of Britain itself, rich, complex, and enduring. And as Britain expanded across the world, its traditions traveled too, one spoonful at a time. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the British Empire stretched across continents, and wherever its ships sailed, the Christmas pudding followed. Families carried their recipes to India, Australia, and the Caribbean. Even under the blazing tropical sun, they boiled their puddings in cloth bags, the taste of home defying the heat. In the Caribbean, rum replaced brandy. In Australia, cold versions of the pudding were served on scorching December days. The dish adapted, absorbed, and evolved, just like the empire itself. But no matter how far it traveled, one thing remained unchanged. When that pudding appeared, it meant Christmas had arrived. And even when the empire began to crumble, the pudding endured. It had already proven it could survive kings and parliaments. Now it would survive the modern age too. As the 20th century dawned, the world once again faced darkness. During the First World War, British soldiers in muddy trenches received small parcels from home, tins of Christmas pudding sent by mothers and wives. Lighting it with a match, they shared a few precious bites, the taste of peace amid chaos. Then came the Second World War. Rationing stripped away the luxury of sugar, butter, and fruit, but not the will to celebrate. Cooks found creative solutions: carrots for sweetness, breadcrumbs for bulk, potatoes for fat. And still, the pudding lived on. It became a symbol of British resilience, proof that even when the world burned, tradition could not be bombed away. When peace finally returned, the first thing many families did was light the pudding again. The flame, once forbidden, burned brighter than ever. Today, the Christmas pudding stands as one of Britain's oldest living traditions. It has survived famine, plague, religious persecution, and 2 world wars. In modern kitchens, the recipe is simpler, but the ritual remains sacred. Each family has their own secret mix of fruits and spices. Each pudding is steamed, rested, and finally, drenched in brandy and set ablaze. For a few seconds, the blue flame dances in the dark, connecting centuries of families who did the same before. That small fire carries the memory of all those who stirred the pudding in silence, who hid it from the church, who sent it across oceans, who baked it through the Blitz. It isn't just dessert, it's a torch passed through time. So the next time you see that glowing pudding on a Christmas table, remember, it's more than a dish, it's a survivor. From a medieval stew to a royal delicacy, from a banned sinful food to a symbol of resilience. The Christmas pudding has outlasted kings, plagues, wars, and empires. And maybe that's why we still light it, not for taste, but for remembrance. Because when that flame burns, it tells a story older than any carol, a story of faith, defiance, and the unbreakable spirit of tradition. The Christmas pudding didn't just survive history, it became history.